welcome back. It is a new moon, which means it's a new cycle, which means we have a new flow ahead of us. I am luteal, about to bleed, so I have a little bit of luteal brain fog. So I have my notes here that we're just going to drop into the feeling tone of this cycle ahead, and then we'll get into our practice. But I just want to synthesize a couple of deep astrological themes that we're moving through as a collective, and then we will personalize those more throughout our time together. So first things first, I am synthesizing both tropical and sidereal astrology together. And this looks like taking two different frameworks and bringing them into a sense of union. So good news, the new moon is in Pisces for both frameworks, which makes my work easier and our work more unified. Pisces is all about dissolving. It's the last astrological sign in the zodiac, so it's essentially the death of the astrological year. So there's this idea of surrender into endings, not through force, not through have-tos, not through any doing effort, but a lot of deep surrender. Think water, think fluidity, think like very liminal and floaty. So the new moon is there. This is a powerful time for us to really consider what is rigid within ourselves, around us, and where we can soften, where we can release, where we can let go. So the major themes really are all around surrender, receptivity, intuition, feeling, and letting go, dissolving, being dissolved. Think of putting yourself in water and allowing yourself to just be renewed, washed clean. Things that don't belong get swept out with the current and away. Second, there's this both and threshold that's happening because in tropical, the sun will be moving into Aries, and in sidereal, the sun will be moving into, or is already in, Pisces. So we are technically in Pisces for one more moon cycle, which is the end of the astrological year. But if you follow tropical, we're moving into Aries season, and that's the first sign of the zodiac, which is this initiation energy. It's a fire sign. It's all about getting the engine started. It's expressive, it's bold, it's creative, it's let's go, let's do, let's not stop, go, go, go. There's lots of fire energy, and it's the first sign of the astrological year. So there's this sense of new beginnings, a new cycle, a new yearly cycle is starting, and if you're following sidereal, you're still in the old cycle. The old cycle is still being released. So there's this both and threshold we're sitting in with fire and water. And when you put fire and water together, you get steam. And that's going to be like a really guiding light for us in our flow together. We're really going to be working with the dynamics of how do we get fluid and how do we build fire, build heat in the body. And that's not necessarily through sweat, but it can be. But we're looking for this balance of intensity as well as softening. How can we feel the power and strength of our postures and the dissolving rigidness, the tense, the holding as well, right? So we're looking for this balance between what is dissolving, what is old, what is dying, what is being reborn, and there's this new momentum building, this new energy. We're also entering, as this new moon finds us, into the spring equinox. So Aries fire here is really timely for the earth season, in a sense that we are all waking up from winter. So there's this revving up of our engines again, right? Like starting the flames, starting the fire, stirring the pot, getting the energy stirred up so that we can begin to create whatever it is we're looking to create in our lives. So we're going to try to be holding this both and posture and theme through our time together in this yang flow, as well as the yin flow that will follow this practice. Great, so that's the new moon. The full moon tropically will be in Libra, which is all about balance, right? Which fits so beautifully into the both and of fire and water. We're going to be looking at how we can balance that within our bodies, how we can get these quick bursts of energy and then soften down into stillness, into receptivity, into depth, and then bring ourselves back up into heat, into movement, into intensity, and back down again. And then in Sidereal, it will be in Virgo, which to me is a very embodied earth sign. Hello, buddy. Hi. And it's all about being in the body, right? So the full moon is really going to bring a lot of ground to what is otherwise a very like dissolving container of fluidity and messiness and feelings, and then like a surge of energy that brings us up into the heights, into combustion, essentially, right? So we're looking at the full moon, what we're going to be getting is this like really beautiful balanced earth energy that's going to bring solidness to this big jump of dissolving and then growing and then dissolving again, right? We're looking for our baseline, our foundation, where we can feel equanimous or at stillness, at balance point between both polarities. And then, so we're just really going to be balancing between deep surrender and the momentous, fire, combustion, momentum energy that we are moving into and that we have been moving into for the last several cycles. So if you are just feeling an intensity of emotion and energy, it's part of the times we're living in. Alrighty, so we're gonna start in child's pose. Toes together, knees out wide. Always supporting your body if you need a bolster or anything underneath the legs and the hips. And just come into your breath. Really bringing sound to your breath, spaciousness to your breath. Starting our practice in deep stillness. Taking 3 deep sighs, taking a nice breath in and a nice breath out. 2 more. Emptying out the body, softening the rigidity, the edges. Last one. And just noticing in this moment what you're feeling more of: fire, water. Maybe you're feeling balance between both of these. And it may change from day to day. Lovely. On your next inhale, coming up vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming to sit on our knees and our ankles. If this doesn't feel good, you can always place a block or a bolster in between. Inhale, hands go high, look up. Exhale, press it all the way, sigh it out. 2 more. Inhale, look up. Last one. Reach up and let it go. Staying where you are. We're going to come into lion's breath. I'm going to cue this a couple times throughout the practice, so we're just going to practice it here together. Placing a hand on the belly, hand on the heart. A lion's breath is a deep inhale, and then a like a tongue sticking out. Exhale. Right? We're getting this fire going. It's called lion's breath. Like, think you're roaring, not from your throat so much, but from your diaphragm. That's why the hand is on the belly. So take a breath to prepare. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale to lion's breath. Good. As you do it, the inhale fills the diaphragm. You feel your diaphragm pushing out. And then as you exhale, the navel is pulling into the spine. You're feeling this contraction of the abs, the core. And that's when you let the sigh out. That's when you let the tongue out. So we'll practice one more time. Empty the lungs, sigh it out. Take a breath. Inhale to lion's breath. Good. We're just going to wake up the shoulders a little bit. So we're going to swing the arms, crossing one wrist over the other and switching it. Continuing to breathe and connect. Breathing into your spine, feeling the length of your spine and your vertebrae. In this practice, we're building fire and we're surrendering. So the way we do that is really emphasizing the breath. So I'm making a lot of sound, I'm sighing a lot and letting things go, and simultaneously that represents the water, right? The surrender, the release. So we're actually honoring the both and, the fire and the water, right? The expression of the breath, fire. And simultaneously in that expression, there's a release, a softening, a letting go. Great. Gently stilling the hands slowly, coming into a moment of stillness. Feeling the length of your spine with an inhale. And just noticing the sensations that are moving through your hands, your wrists, your arms. Noticing for any subtle sensation. I'm going to come into tabletop position now. So shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And we're just going to shake the hips from side to side. Really getting into the side body, the hip flexors. Make sure you're pressing your fingertips into the floor so you're not dumping in the shoulders, but you're actively pressing against gravity, the floor. And then we're just going to shift back towards our heels. And then forward, just slightly over the wrists, the fingers, slight warming up of the wrists, strong hands here. Exhale, shift it back. Inhale, shift it forward, finding your own breath, your own rhythm. Maybe take 2 or 3 breaths forward. And on an exhale, you'll send it back towards the hips for 2, 3 breaths. Maybe there's some movement, right? Pisces is all about non-rigidity. So you can be still here, or you can move and sway the hips from side to side. Inhale sends you forward over the fingertips, and exhales send you back. Just finding your own rhythm here. Play with some shapes. Play with your breath. Beautiful. Coming back into that child's pose. Forehead to the earth, arms out wide and long. On your next inhale, we rise into tabletop position again, moving into some cat-cows. Inhale, belly drops, gaze lifts, press the floor away. Exhale, round through the tailbone, through the vertebrae, through the neck. Look towards your belly button. Exhale, or inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round and tuck. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round and tuck. We're gonna hold this tucked position, making this nice, rounded back, active hands. And then see if you can keep the strength in your arms, but relax the muscles of your body. Inhale, drop the belly. Heart goes through the shoulders, look up, tailbone tilts up. We're holding, once again, strengthen the arms, and then see if you can relax. Beautiful. We're going to add some lion's breath to this. So, on an inhale, we round the back, pull everything in, and on an exhale, we move into dropping the belly, lifting the head, tilting the pelvic tailbone, and then the lion's breath. So here it is. Inhale, round the back. Exhale, lion's breath. Finding your own rhythm. One more. Beautiful child's pose. Take a breath. Bend the elbows so the hands face the ceiling and just roll through the wrists. Roll them the other way. Open the fingers and claw at the sky. Alright, inhale, tabletop position. Building fire, tuck the toes, lift the knees, hover them off of the mat. Really strong fingertips here, right? Breathe. Strong core, strong vertebrae. Notice the elbow pits, are they facing forward or in? See if you can rotate them to face each other so that they're facing in towards one another. Hold. Always take breaks if you need. We're building this fire, building this core. See if you can have the strength and the softness. Option to include fire breath here on every exhale if that's something your body is craving. Sound. 2 more breaths. Exhale, we're moving into down dog, hips lift. Press the heels down towards the floor. It's okay if they don't touch. Bend the right knee, straighten the left. Breathe. Bend both knees and straighten the right. Roll out the neck. Shake it yes, shake it no, move it in circles. Inhale high on the toes, bend the knees, come all the way to the floor. Child's pose. Come back to your breath, your body, any sensations that are alive. Inhale, tabletop position. Tuck the toes, lift those knees again. We're in hover tabletop position. Breathe. Exhale, downward facing dog. This time we're going to come into 3-legged dog. So ground the left toes on the earth. Lift the right heel up towards the sky. Point and flex and roll through that ankle joint and breathe. And then inhale, bend that right knee, bring it into the chest, rock forward onto those left toes, press the floor away. Breathe. Exhale, three-legged dog. 2 more that way. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths here. Ground, balance. Come back to your breath. Coming into three-legged dog on the other side. Ground through the right toes, lift the left. Roll through that ankle joint. Breathe, find balance. Bend the left knee, bring it in towards the chest. Strong core here, strong wrists. Exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale in towards the heart. Exhale, three-legged dog. Last one. Bring it in, hold. Exhale, three-legged dog. And downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Slowly, we're going to come up onto the heel or the toes, and we're just going to tiptoe really slowly towards our hands. Forward fold at the top of our mat. Release the head completely. Knees can be bent. Soften. Let your feet hold you. Right? Finding that full moon energy, the earth, the balance between water and fire. Inhale, press through the feet to rise. Hands come all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands together, that heart center. Breathe. Find your balance between front feet and heels. Coming back to your breath, feel your body. We're going to move into our first intense flow, and then we'll find some release. Inhale, hands go up, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Deep bend in the knees here, really feel this. We're going to place the hands to blocks through the earth. Step the left toe back, keeping that left knee lifted. We're in high lunge now. Really feel yourself balanced between the front foot and the back foot. If your hands are to the earth or blocks, see if you can come into some balance by bringing the crown of the head over the pelvic bowl. Hands go up, hands go high. Lots of strength and foundation in the feet. Hands can stay lifted, or you can bring them to heart center. Feel the heat, feel the fire. One's lion's breath here. Take an inhale. Exhale, lion's breath. Right, we're going to shift the weight over this standing thigh, over the standing right thigh. Hands to blocks or the earth if that feels good, or you can stay balanced here by bringing the hands behind you. We're moving into warrior 3. So blocks come forward, we're shifting the weight onto the standing foot. Strong left leg, left heel. Really find your balance in this right foot. Hands to blocks. One hand to heart center, both hands to heart center. Breathe. Either hands can come to the block, or you can bend that back knee as you stand up into one-legged Tadasana. Strength through the standing leg. I know this is a big shift. If you fall, if you wobble, it's okay. Let go of the rigidity and return and meet us in standing Tadasana. Left knee in line with left hip, strong flexed heel. Breathe. From here, we're going to come into tree. So this left foot is going to find either the inner thigh, below the knee, or kickstand on the earth. Find your expression of tree now. Breathe down. Find your breath. Find a point in front of you can focus on. Let your right foot and heel hold you. The more you press the left foot into the right thigh and the right thigh into the left foot, the more stability you will have in the center body. And the lion's breath here. Exhale all the air out. Inhale. Exhale, lions. Good. Coming back into that one-legged Tadasana. We're gonna reverse it. So we kick that left foot behind us, coming into warrior three. Use blocks if you need. Find your stability, long, straight vertebrae, strong right foot. High lunge, gently place that foot on the earth. Inhale, look up. Coming into warrior two, so we spin this left heel down. We open up to the side of the room, crown of the head over pelvic bowl, and then you find your arms as an extension of the heart. Make sure you're not reaching, but you're still centered over your pelvic bowl. Try to feel your hands in space. Don't let them be too far back or too far forward. Breathe. Inhale, rise, look up. Straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, rise, look up. Exhale, warrior two. Finding movement in these powerful postures. Couple more breaths, your own rhythm. Exhale, land in warrior two and stay. Inhale, rise, look up. That front knee is straightened. We're gonna come onto the heel and pivot the toes forward. So we're in this wide stance, hinging at the hips. You can bring the blocks if you need. Forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Breathe. Drop the head. Look through your beautiful legs. Maybe sway it side to side or find some stillness. Strong feet, really press through the pinky toe side of the foot. This brings stability to the legs and the core. Bring sound and movement to your breath. And then inhale, we're gonna walk it over to the right foot and come into that low lunge this time. So we place the right foot forward, drop the back knee, hands to blocks or the ground. Coming into this nice low lunge. This is our water, our Pisces. Can you find some release in the hips? Some length in the left leg? Some freedom in your breath? Just slowing down. Beautiful. We're going to move into our vinyasa flow. So hands to the earth, tuck the back toe. If it's not already, lift that back knee. Step the right foot to meet the back. We're in a plank. Hold this plank. Shoulders over wrist. Really check for engagement. Breathe. Inhale, shift the weight forward. So look, I'm rocking on my toes. The elbows are going to point back towards my toes as I lower into chaturanga. belly all the way down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale to the floor. Tuck the toes, press back up into plank. Exhale down, you're facing dog. 3 breaths here. Beautiful, high on the toes, step it forward, tiptoeing it forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breathe. Notice your body, notice your breath. We're moving into the other side. Inhale, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Just breathe here for a second. Hands to the earth. We're stepping the right toes back this time. Keep that knee lifted. Find blocks or the earth. We're in this runner's lunge. Breathe. Feel your power. Really press into those back toes to activate that right hip flexor. Moving into high lunge. Inhale, head comes over the pelvic bowl. Arms lift up towards the sky. Crescent lunge, really strong back toes. Knee can be bent, knee can be straight, so long as the heel isn't going down towards the mat. Keep that heel lifted. Breathe. Hands to heart center if that feels good, and move into 2 or 3 lion's breath at your own pace. Hovering back into that runner's lunge, hands behind you or to blocks. We're moving into that warrior 3, so blocks come forward if you need them. Strong right ankle. Stand in that left heel, that left foot. Really strong left leg. Like you could grow up out of that left leg. Like it's a root, a tree. Breathe. Notice, like I was dumping a little bit, like if you activate, you really press into that foot, you gain a couple inches. Moving into one-legged Tadasana, use the blocks if you need. If you wobble, if you fall, it's okay. It's part of the process. Feel the heat in your body. Moving into tree pose. Find that point of focus. This is called drishti in Sanskrit. One pointed focus. Doesn't matter what you're looking at. You're just soft in your gaze and focused and present in your body. Breathe. Feel the heat and try to soften the rigidity. Can you find some fluidity? And if you're like me, wobbling a lot, maybe you need to find more rigidity, right? More stability, more earth. Ground down. Reversing. Come back into that one-legged Tadasana. I know that leg is burning. Kick it back. Warrior 3, hands to blocks if needed. Really strong left foot. Breathe here, and then the toes gently find the earth. Oop. High crescent lunge. Breathe. Coming into warrior 2, spin that back heel down, open up to the side of the room. Find your posture. Really strong feet. Really breathing into the pinky toe side of that angled foot, that back foot. Nice strong bend in the knee, the front knee, and breathe. Inhale, legs straighten, hands go up, look up. Exhale, back down. A few rounds here. exhale, warrior two. Look forward over those fingertips. Feel your strength. Really ground down into the standing foot. Press through the heels. Lion's breath. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, hands come up, legs straightened. We're coming into that forward fold, facing this side of the wall, the room. Hands to hips, hinge forward, hands to blocks if needed. Otherwise, just hang. Really active feet here still though. Pressing into the toe, the pinky toe side. Coming into your own breath, exploring some movement, some fluidity, some water. And then we're going to walk it towards that front foot. Turn to face the front of the mat again. We're coming into that low lunge for a nice, gentle integration. Nice, lovely stretch. Really let the right leg go long, but we also want to pull back the left hip just a little so that we're not out of balance here in our hips. We're not at this diagonal, but our hips are actually in the same plane. And then see if we can sink down into them. Really release. You can let the knee widen just a little bit, and this creates more space in the pelvic bowl. Beautiful. Hands to the earth, tuck the back toes, finding plank. Send that left foot back, high plank. Really breathe here. Inhale, shift it forward. Chaturanga is when we come down to the earth. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, child's pose. Take a breath. Find your stillness. Sink into the earth. Feel the heat of your body. And inhale to rise through tabletop. We find downward facing dog. Look towards the toes, ground down through the left foot. Lift the right toes up to the sky, three-legged dog, breathe. Strong, strong left heel. Once again, we're looking for that leveling in the hips. So we're not opening the hip wide. Both hip points are facing down towards the earth. Bend the knees, step it forward, or find your way forward if you cannot do step throughs. High lunge, we've been here before. Grab your blocks if you need them. Inhale, rise. Hands to blocks or hands to the sky. Breathe. Coming into that lion's breath. Great. Inhale, warrior three. Stepping it forward, finding a little bit more momentum. As we transition, 2 breaths here, look towards the floor, stand strong in your feet, in your foot. Inhale, one-legged Tadasana. This time we're going to bring the left hand to the left glute, right hand towards the knee. If it can reach, it can go for the bottom of the foot. If you reach for the foot, correct your spine. You reach and then correct, head over pelvic bowl again. If you can straighten, now is the time to straighten the foot in front of you. Breathe. Right, we're combining balance and strength and fluidity. Bend the knee back down, one-legged Tadasana. Right hand goes high. Exhale, send it back, warrior three. We've been here before, look down. Breathe. Inhale, high crescent lunge. The toes find the earth softly. Inhale, rise. Exhale, arrow is where we bring the hands behind us or to blocks, and we hover over this right thigh. Breathe. Coming down, framing the foot with our hands, we're actually going to walk the right toes all the way to the side of the mat. Place our hands down. We're in a lizard lunge. You're gonna basically bring this right knee to hug your right shoulder. So you're almost like contracting your right knee into your shoulder, pressing your shoulder into your right knee. This activates that hip flexor. And then you're really pressing strongly through the left leg. Really should feel some burning here. If this is not comfortable for you, always you can lower that knee, right? Find your expression, lizard. If you are feeling more fiery, now's the time to really be in this lifted lizard. If you need more water, down, 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 right? Find what your body is craving, not what your mind is craving, what your body is craving. Beautiful. We're all gonna meet with our knee down on the earth. Really strong hands here. Once again, pay attention for my hypermobile people. If the elbow pit is ever facing forward, see if you can turn it in. This engages the whole arm instead of dumping in our joints. Beautiful. We're just gonna hold this lizard lunge. Coming into pigeon. If pigeon is not in your practice, you can take a figure 4 on your back. Bring your hands to blocks as you bring the right foot to the left side of the mat. And we're going to lower that right knee down to the earth. If it doesn't meet the earth, you can always place a block or a bolster underneath. And I want to challenge us all to stay lifted for a bit. So I like to bring my blocks here. We're just going to move from one side of the hip like a wave. Think of a wave to the other side of the hip. You're moving the hip first, and the torso and the belly and the chest can follow. But you're not leading with the chest, you're leading with the hips. Option to find some rhythm in this movement or to find stillness. We'll be here for 15 or so breaths. Coming into your breath and your senses. Deepening, softening, lingering. Listening to the sounds around you. Feeling the heat in your body. Feeling for the ground. The support of your body, the places you can soften. 5 more breaths. Beautiful. We're going to frame the right knee with our blocks. And what's going to happen here is we're going to bring this right heel all the way towards our hip flexor. And we're going to turn and bend the back leg. If you can't do this, that's okay. You can just be in pigeon, forward, and then try to bend the knee, kick the knee towards the glute. Otherwise, we'll be in this quad stretch. Just a couple breaths here. Beautiful. Coming in to that front pigeon, place the hands on the earth, tuck the back toes and lift yourself first up off of the mat and bring that right leg to the back plank. I want us to hold this plank and really feel the new blood flow in the right leg. Breathe. Once again, pay attention. This is for me too. My elbow pits usually face forward and I really need to focus on turning them inward to engage my entire arm and upper back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Breathe. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here, really find your ground. Option for some lion's breath here if you need. Beautiful. Coming into the other side, ground through the right toes, lift the left leg. 3 breaths here. Really feel this length from the left fingers all the way to the left toes. Inhale, step it forward or find your way into a high lunge at the top of your mat. Breathe. 2 breaths here. Really feel the strength as you move into warrior 3 on the left side. Strong left leg, strong right heel. Really grow tall out of that left leg. See if you can get your heel in line with your tailbone, which is in line with the crown of your head. One-legged Tadasana. On an inhale, find your stability. Once there, on an exhale, find your tree. We didn't do tree on the other side. My bad. Come back to one-legged Tadasana. Right hand to the right heel. Left hand to the knee. If this is stable, reach for that left heel. That right heel. Straighten up, find your stability, and then extend that right leg long. Breathe. Exhale, one-legged Tadasana. Left hand goes up. Exhale, coming into warrior 3, kick it back, stay in your left toes, your left foot. Exhale, that right toe finds the earth. High lunge. Breathe. Activate those back toes. Really feel the hip flexors, the strength in your legs. Exhale, hover over the left thigh, arrow. Hands behind you or to blocks. Coming into that lizard lunge, drop the hands to the earth, walk the left toes to the left side of the mat. Stay lifted for just a breath before you find the earth, if that's what you need. Pay attention to those armpits. Turn them to face one another, not armpits, elbow pits. And breathe. At the beginning of class, we asked ourselves what we're feeling, fire or water. And I just invite you in this moment to tune in. What are you most feeling? What do you most need? Can you give it to yourself? Maybe you're too fiery, right? We're looking for balance too, not just fire. And for those of us coming out of winter, it can be hard to start the engine sometimes, so being ever so gentle as we re-find our balance. Dropping the knee if it's not already dropped. Really pressing that left knee into that left shoulder. Coming into pigeon or figure 4 if that's what you took last time. Staying lifted. Hands to the earth. or blocks. And we're going to find that wave again, right? It starts in the hips, the torso, and the chest. Follow. See if you can release any tension in the glutes, in your jaw. Moving slowly. Fire and water create steam through challenge, through integration, through coming together and finding balance. Pisces being the last zodiac sign, we're still in old structure, old narratives, old ways. We're still dissolving away. And Aries, being the first sign of the zodiac, is ready to start new beginnings. We're also in a new moon. We're also coming to spring equinox. So there's a lot of fire, a lot of momentum. But there's still this desire for dissolving, for releasing. Can you surrender to the process of what it means to be both actively surrendering, actively letting go, dissolving, and being reborn? Can you hold both polarity and let steam, let unification arrive? Beautiful. We're coming into that quad stretch. If you're on the floor, keep doing what you're doing. If you can't reach your back foot, that's okay. Kick it towards the glute. Just begin to try to move that back leg. Beautiful. Gently release that back foot. Finding our way into plank. Take a breath here, really feel that blood flow again. Notice the armpit, not the armpit, the elbow pit. Are they facing forward? Can you turn them to face one another? Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here, just move at your own pace. Maybe find some new shapes or find some stillness. And we're going to find the earth, so knees come to the earth. Exhale, child's pose, coming into some stillness. We'll find puppy pose. So inhale, come back up to tabletop position. Hips over knees. We're going to drop down to one elbow, then the other, really tilt the tailbone. This is a perfect place to stay if you're already feeling it in the hips and the back. If you would like more, you can extend one arm and then the other as you bring the chest down towards the mat. See if you can release any tension hand underneath the shoulder, and then gently press yourself up. Move through some cat-cows, or just move the shoulders and the spine in some fluid ways. You've been going one way, go the other way. Incorporate the head and the neck. And then sit the hips over the heels, coming into a seated forward fold. So the feet come out in front of us. Grab your blocks. Inhale, rise. We're going to hinge at the hips, so we're not bending or rounding through the back, but we're rising through the vertebrae. Lift up, hinge from the hips, lead with the heart. Let the belly touch the thighs. And if the belly is still touching the thighs, then you can begin rounding through the back. But we want to emphasize this reaching forward with the inhale and the surrendering with the exhale, right? So this is a little fun fire, water movement, right? Fire, Aries, we reach forward. There's momentum, desire, goal setting, achievement. And then the exhale, we soften, we surrender back down towards the ground. Inhale, there's a lengthening. Exhale, there's a softening. If you can reach your toes and you want to add a block, this engages even the hamstrings because now your feet are pressing into the block. Wherever you are, stop and know that there be no rigidity in your reaching, in your lengthening. Gently release and slowly roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Just coming into some stillness. Slowly releasing the toes. I'm just going to roll through the ankle joints so your hands can come behind you. Point the toes, flex the toes, point and flex, point and flex. Great, we're going to point the left toe and we're just going to roll through the right ankle. Nice and slow. Roll it the other way. And flex it towards the nose. And point it. And now we're going to flex the left and roll through the ankle joint. And the other way. I'm really bad at rolling this joint. Awesome. Point through both, flex through both, and release. Coming into Shavasana. So finding a comfortable laying position. We'll be here for a few moments. I will guide you out. I have to let my cat in. Here you go, buddy. So just coming down towards the mat, bending the knees at first. I will guide you out, so just fully let yourself release and receive here. If the back is not hurting, you can extend one leg long and then the other. Hi, buddy. We'll do 3 lion's breath here just to release whatever fire and fuel is still in the body. So exhale, release the breath. Inhale to lion's breath. Last one. In Shavasana, we practice stillness, softening all the muscles of the face, jaw, letting the bones of your body hold you and letting the muscles melt down into the earth, into the mat. In Shavasana, we release the doing, the efforting, the controlling. We soften the mind down to the back of the skull. And we allow the mind to simply observe and witness. Witness in stillness, the subtle movement, the pranic current, the energy, the life force that moves through the body, even while we rest. So just let yourself observe body sensations, feelings that may arise, thoughts. Letting the breath be natural and neutral. Gently bringing the breath back to the body, the awareness back to the room. Wiggling the toes. A nice full body stretch, hands over the crown of the head, point through the toes. Beautiful. Finding your way to a seated position. Bowing the chin towards the chest. Just taking a moment of reverence for your body as it is in this moment. Thanking your body. Thank you all, and I hope you enjoy this flow through this next lunar cycle, and I hope it leads you well as you learn to balance what's coming and what is leaving. Bye for now.